This is a demonstration for the Gelish Soakoff Structure Gel. Your prep is the same as a gel polish application. You want to do a dry manicure. You want to make sure your client's hands and nails have been sanitized. Using your cuticle pusher, you're going to push back your cuticles. If you need to, you can trim down or just file and shape the natural nail to your client's desired shape. Using your 100, 180 grit buffer, you're going to use the 180 side, which is the side with the print or writing on it, and you're going to lightly buff the surface of the nail just to remove the shine. Now, structure gel is not for building length. It is just for building strength on the nail to create more durability. So you're creating bulk, not length. You can glue a tip on and do a tip overlay with it, but that's it. You cannot use a form and do a sculpture nail. It's just not strong enough for that type of application. So the structure gel comes in either a pot, and then you would need a gel brush to apply it, or you can get the ones in the bottle, which is what I prefer. The ones in the bottle come in clear, translucent pink, and cover pink. Cover pink is my absolute favorite. I actually use this as a polish for when I do a French. It's a really beautiful neutral pink. And it just looks really nice on all skin tones. So it's just a really nice neutral pink. So I like to use this a thin coat, and I use it as a polish. Sometimes I can get away with just one coat, and then I go straight to my white because it is much thicker than a polish. Otherwise, we have translucent pink. Translucent pink is really great to use underneath sheer colors to give a little more depth to those sheer pinks or sheer neutrals. And then clear, you can never go wrong with clear. The nice thing about structure gel is this can be applied under polish or over polish. It's the only builder gel that can go under and over polish. And again, clear comes in just the pot. So we're going to use the bottle. So after you've done your dry manicure, cleanse the nail to get the dust off. Make sure that you dehydrate with your pH bond. And just another reminder, anytime you see any of our brushes that have tiny little bristles, that's just a reminder that you do not need a lot. A little goes a long way. We're going to apply our foundation base coat or our base gel. And remember, a little goes a long way, tiny bristles. And you're going to really massage this into the nail. And you want a thin, 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 thin layer. We're just going to get a nice thin coat. And we're going to give this a 5-second cure. Do not over cure your foundation. It becomes too rigid. And then we're going to dry brush it. This is just a clean synthetic brush. I only use this brush for dry brushing. And we're going to take this slick, slippery surface of uncured foundation and just give it a quick wipe. And now it is more textured. I'm going to move my camera just a bit. All right. Now we're going to grab our structure gel. So there's a couple different ways you can apply structure gel when you are building the length or not the length, the durability. You can start off with just a thin layer. And you could actually cure that if you are this is what I would do if I was putting it over polish. I would just do a thin layer. Or if I was just needing a little bit of extra durability, I would do this on all the nails, cure it, do 2 coats of my polish and a top coat. But if I'm really looking at building the nail and creating a little bit of an arc, I'm going to then pick up just a larger bead and I'm going to kind of roll that on like you would a hard gel. And I'm just going to massage this bead. and float this all the way down the nail. So I'm treating it just like a hard gel, and this is going to create the most durability. And if you want to, you can also flip the hand upside down for a couple of seconds so that gravity can kind of do the work for you and create a really nice curvature. And then I like to flash cure it for 5 seconds. And then I'll take a look at it and see if I need to build up the nail. And if I'm happy with the shape of it, then I'm going to give it a full 30-second cure. So I use this a lot, actually on my brother. My brother, when he was in high school back in the day, he was in track and he was stretching. Somebody stepped on his hand and the bone of his finger went through his nail. And after surgery, his nail was never the same. It's very corrugated and, sometimes it bothers him because it's still, it's raw skin in some spots because it's just really, the nail is just really thin and damaged from the accident. So I like to take structure gel and I fill in those grooves and then I just use a matte top coat so that it looks like the rest of his nails. So there's no shine. So at this point, you have a couple of options to do. It's very sticky, just like any other gel. So we're going to cleanse the nail. And this is really smooth, just like a hard gel. So I tend to not need to file. I may file the edges a little bit if I got too close to the cuticles or the nail groove or the free edge. Otherwise, I just take my buffer and I lightly buff with the 100 side. And I'm just making sure that I don't have any divots, nooks and crannies. I'm just gently smoothing out the surface. Switch to my 180 side. Cleanse the nail. Get that dust off. Now at this point, you can apply polish. 2 coats followed by your top coat. And for us, for today, I'm just going to put a top coat on. And that completes your structure gel. Now again, you can glue tips on and do a tip overlay. It's going to be strong enough for that. But for a sculptured nail, it would not be strong enough. You would have to use a hard gel or you would have to use our builder in a bottle. And the builder in a bottle, I'll grab that really quick and show you what that looks like. The builder in a bottle, this is exactly like a hard gel. The only difference is this is a Soakoff formula. So this one, you could do a form and do a sculptured nail, a tip overlay, a natural nail overlay, and every 2 weeks they would get a fill. So you would treat this just like a hard gel. You apply it the same way as a hard gel. It's just in a Soakoff formula. That's the only difference. It does have a slightly different self-leveling. It doesn't self-level as quickly as a traditional hard gel, so that makes this kind of nice to work with. But you still have to flash cure before you move on to the next nail. You just have a little more workability with this one. You'd get less pooling in the nail groove and in the cuticle area. But other than that, this is, again, applied just like a traditional hard gel, just in a Soakoff formula. Whereas structure gel, so this is stronger than structure gel. Structure gel, again, is just for building durability, bulk on really thin nails. And again, this can go over polish, under polish. The nice thing about this being able to go on top of polish, I like to use this to attach rhinestones. I use this a lot with nail art. So I gravitate towards using structure gel for those things. All right, so once the top coat has cured, you'll cleanse the nail, get the sticky inhibition layer off, and finish with your Nourish cuticle oil. And that concludes our structure gel. Thanks so much for spending some time with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My email is maries@yournewschool.com.